Episode 19, The Beer Run.
The October wind pressed against the cracked garage door, sneaking in just enough to stir the smoke in the air. But the old heater in the corner hummed, strong, glowing red and steady. The garage was warm in that particular way only a garage could be. Half smoke, half sawdust, half beer breath, and all comfort. Larson the bulldog had stretched himself belly up right in front of the heater, stubby legs twitching in his sleep. Every snore sounded like a tractor engine with a bad muffler. The others barely noticed anymore. Larson was the soundtrack of the garage. Harry sat at his workbench, as always. A warped shelf bracket was clamped in the vise, and he sanded it with the slow, steady patience of a man who'd been fixing things his whole life, whether they needed fixing or not. Sawdust drifted onto his lap, into his Buddy Weisser, and across the pile of bent nails he refused to throw away. He leaned back, squinted at the board, muttered, fixed, then took a sip, like the word sealed the deal. Frank knelt by the cooler, digging through slush. His arm came up dripping and empty. That's it. We're out. Ricky, chest bare beneath his half-button flannel, spread his arms like a preacher. That's criminal. A garage without beer is like Sunday without football, like a truck without gas, like you without hot air, Diane cut in, tapping her cigarette into a coffee can. Figures. You boys never think ahead. Hudson had his phone up on a duct-taped tripod built from soda cans and painter's tape. He grinned as the camera framed Frank at the empty cooler. This is perfect. Cooler's dry, everybody's on edge. Chat's gonna eat this up. Frank zipped his hoodie to his chin, but a smile tugged at his lips. Make sure you get my good side, son. Just not the one crying over an empty cooler. Hudson laughed. Subscribers, eat this stuff up. You and Grandpa are the stars. Harry didn't look up. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass on the ground. Hudson pumped his fist. Boom. Frog quote. Viral gold. Frank chuckled. Keep filming, bud. One day you'll be paying for my bar tab. Or your bail, Diane muttered. Wrong, Ricky said, puffing out his chest. Internet loves me. I'm the star. Internet's blind, then, Diane shot back. Frank snapped the cooler shut and grabbed his keys. All right. Murphy's gas and go. Quick in, quick out. And Sigurd's eye and barked. 2 packs of Reds. Don't let that clerk hand me menthols again. Harry brushed sawdust off his lap, cracked another beer, and said, You won't be back in 10, why not? Frank asked. Harry took a sip. If a frog had wings. Ricky clapped his hands. Man's a prophet. Let's ride. Frank's old truck rattled down the road, heater coughing warm air onto the windshield. Frosted fields stretched out on either side. Diane cracked her window for a cigarette, undoing the heat. You're hugging the curb too close? I'm fine, Frank muttered. You're drifting. I'm not drifting. I could feel drifting, Diane said, flicking ash into a styrofoam cup. Ricky sprawled across the back seat, chest bare, grinning. You just sound like an old married couple. If she was my wife? Don't finish that, Frank warned. You wouldn't last a week, Diane barked. I'd chew you up and spit out your buttons. Ricky howled, slapping the seat. That's love. Loud equals love. Frank gripped the wheel tighter. This is why I drink. Murphy's gas and go glared bright against the dark lot. A cop car idled near the propane cages, headlights spilling across the pumps. Inside, the smell of fried chicken and mop water hit first. Frank went straight to the cold case, pulled 2 30-packs, and set them on the counter. Diane leaned across the register, smoke curling from her lips. 2 packs. Reds. And don't even think about handing me menthols again. You tried that trick last time, and I don't forget. The clerk, maybe 20, blinked nervously. Yes, ma'am. Ricky wandered the aisles like a kid in a candy store. Frank Funyuns jerky, candy necklaces. He dumped everything in a pile beside the beer. The clerk scanned items while Diane studied the cigarettes. She slammed them back down so hard the scanner beeped twice. Wrong ones. Again, are you blind or just stupid? Those are reds, the clerk said. No, they're not. The box is lighter. You think I don't notice? I've smoked more packs than you've had birthdays? I'm just ringing what you asked for, he muttered. Don't argue with me, Diane snapped. Customer is always right. And I'm right now, ma'am. Please. Don't ma'am me, boy. Learn how to do your damn job. Frank sighed. All right, enough. Frank, don't you defend him? Diane barked. You're worse if you think this is acceptable. Meanwhile, Ricky tore open a bag of jerky. He chewed loudly, waving it around like a microphone. Frank, try this. Gas station jerky, straight flavor, no rules. He stumbled into a rack of windshield fluid, catching himself just in time. The clerk froze. Sir, are you drunk? Ricky blinked. Drunk? Nah, baby, this is me. Pure Ricky. High on life and preservatives. He held out the jerky, want some? The clerk's hand twitched toward the phone, and that's when the cop walked in. All right, the officer said, voice steady. What's happening here? Frank raised both hands. Nothing, officer. Just a misunderstanding. Nothing, Diane barked. This idiot tried to scam me again. Wrong cigarettes. Overcharging. Mouthing off. Ma'am, lower your voice, the cop said. Lower my what? You gonna arrest me for quality control? The cop sighed. Ma'am, don't ma'am me. I've got every right to raise hell if I'm getting robbed blind. Ricky leaned toward the cop with jerky still in his mouth. She's passionate, man. It's how she shows affection. Sir, have you been drinking? Ricky put a hand to his chest. Drinking? Nope. I'm drunk on freedom, officer. Freedom and snacks. He offered the bag. Want a Funyun? They fix attitudes. The cop didn't smile. The clerk finally snapped. I want them out. All of them. The cop nodded. You heard him. Out. Now. Frank sighed. I haven't even paid yet. Good, the clerk snapped. Makes it easier. Ricky placed the candy necklace down gently, whispering, You are too pure for this world. Diane stormed out first, muttering about conspiracies. Ricky followed, pretending to salute the cop. You stay safe out there, brother. It's a jungle. The cop just stared, one eyebrow twitching. Frank trudged out last, hearing the clerk's mutter trail behind him. Never again. The heater hummed, steady, as the garage door rolled open again. Larson cracked one eye, saw no beer in their arms, and went back to snoring. Frank tossed his keys on the bench. No beer, no smokes. And now the cops think we're lunatics. Because you don't know how to behave? Diane snapped, lighting another cigarette. I was calm, Ricky protested. Told him loud equals love. Loud equals stupid, Diane said. Harry hammered his crooked shelf bracket, muttered fixed, and sipped his beer. Told ya, want to be back in 10. Hudson set his phone down, grinning. Don't worry, Dad. We're stocked. Frank frowned. What do you mean? Check the fridge. Frank tugged the handle, his jaw dropped. The fridge was full of beers, more than the 2 cases he'd tried to buy. Ricky dropped to his knees. Harry Bob conjured beer. Harry brushed sawdust from his lap. Kid showed me how to order it on his phone. Beer shows up at the door. Easier than paying the water bill. Diane pointed with her cigarette. At my cigarettes. Hudson shrugged. App doesn't sell those. Figures, she muttered, storming off to her plants. Society's gone soft. Ricky cracked a can and chugged. Technology, baby. I'm never leaving this garage again. Harry raised his can. Progress ain't all bad. Larson waddled over, stole a Funyun from Ricky's pocket, then plopped back down in front of the heater, snoring louder than ever. Hudson panned the camera slowly across the room. And that, subscribers, he narrated, is how you turn a failed beer run into a miracle. Frank cracked a fresh beer, clinked it against Harry's. We're a circus. Best damn circus in Barton County, Ricky said, foam on his chin. Frank leaned back, laughing. Yeah, just don't let Diane run a gas station. He pulled out his phone and hit play on a familiar tune through the Bluetooth speaker. Hank Williams Jr. started to sing, "A Country Boy Can Survive." One warm garage, 2 cases left behind, 1 fridge full anyway, thanks to a kid with an app and a grandpa who never leaves his bench. This was life at Frank's place.
Well, if you made it all the way to the end, either you really liked the story, or your phone fell asleep before you did. Either way, I appreciate you. For the full Frank's Place episodes, previews, and miniseries, follow us on Facebook. That's where all the chaos lies. And for the full audiobook versions, subscribe to the Frank's Place YouTube channel, where the stories run longer than Harry's one-liners. This is Life at Frank's Place.